Are you tired of game mechanics that feel clunky and unresponsive? You press a button, but the character moves a second too late. You swing a sword, but it feels weightless. Imagine if you could take all those frustrations and turn them into mechanics that feel just right. Because, let's be real, nobody remembers a game for its graphics alone. It's the feel that makes or breaks a game, mechanics that make your game fun before you even add art, story, or polish. These systems shape how players interact with your world, how they make decisions, and most importantly, how they feel playing your game. Every game starts with an idea, but here's the catch. Your first idea probably sucks, and that's fine. The point isn't to come up with the perfect mechanic from the start, it's to explore ideas until one feels right. You should start throwing every idea onto one page with no filter. Ask yourself, what's the core action of my game? Jumping, shooting, maybe slashing? How do players interact with my world? Is it physics-based? Is it precise, fast, or methodical? And what makes games feel good to play and why? This phase is all about discovery, where you don't chase perfection, where you chase the potential of making a good mechanic. And now in the next step, you build. But not a full game, just the mechanic. No art, no UI, just raw function. The most common mistakes game developers make is they build an entire level, story, and characters before even testing the core gameplay and seeing if it's fun. Instead, make a gray box prototype. If the movement is mechanical, test it in an empty room. If it's a combat mechanic, test it with one single enemy. If it's a puzzle mechanic, see if one puzzle is engaging before making 10. And a good mechanic should feel satisfying even when it's just a bunch of cubes on a grey background. If it doesn't, something might be off. Now in the next step is where a lot of game developers panic. What if people don't like it? Spoiler alert, they probably won't, at first. That's why testing exists. Give your prototype to a friend, a random player, or even a stranger. Watch what they do, where they struggle, where they hesitate. If a mechanic needs to be explained, it's probably not intuitive enough. What most game developers do is they defend their game mechanic. If someone says it feels off, don't tell them they're wrong. Figure out why they feel that way. And now, in the next step, you tweak. Maybe your movement needs more acceleration. Maybe your attacks feel floaty and need more impact. Maybe your physics interactions are just off. This step is all about fine-tuning. You need to refine, test, adjust, and then repeat that all over again until your game mechanics feels good. And there are some common mistakes that ruin a lot of game mechanics. What some game developers do is they have too many mechanics and not enough depth. So it's better to have one mechanic with depth rather than 10 that are shallow. And also, a lot of game developers are ignoring player expectations, so if a jump feels off, players will know, even if they can't explain why, so you should follow established conventions before even breaking them. And lack of feedback. Players need to feel their actions. Sounds, animations, camera shake. Small details that make game mechanics satisfying. And if there's one thing you should take from this video, it's this. Game feel isn't magic, it's process. You don't need to get it perfect on the first try, but if you focus on iteration, testing, and player feedback, you will eventually create something that feels great. You should start small, test early, make your game mechanics fun before you make them pretty, because at the end of the day, a game that feels good is a game people will remember. And now I want to hear from you. What's a game that feels amazing to play? Let me know in the comments, and if you want more deep dives into game design, subscribe, and of course join our Discord in the description. And with that, see you in the next episode.